Keir Starmer might have thought he had everything under control, but Jim Davidson wasn't about to let him off the hook that easily. The outspoken comedian, known for his no-holds-barred approach, took Starmer to task in a brutal and hilarious roast that left audiences in stitches, and Starmer scrambling for a response. But just when things couldn't get any worse for the Labour leader, his own wife reportedly dropped a truth bomb that turned this whole situation on its head. Davidson, never one to shy away from controversy, didn't hold back. In his usual sharp-tongued style, he went straight for the heart of the issue, Starmer's credibility. The comedian tore into the Labour leader's recent denials, calling them laughable and pointing out the glaring contradictions that had social media buzzing. He mocked Starmer's attempts to dodge responsibility, turning what could have been a damaging political scandal into pure entertainment. And the audience? They loved every second of it. But here's where things took a shocking turn. Just as people were still reeling from Davidson's roast, reports surfaced that Starmer's own wife had weighed in on the controversy. And instead of clearing things up, her words only added fuel to the fire. According to sources, she didn't exactly back up her husband's version of events, leaving even more questions unanswered. Now, let's be clear. Politicians face criticism all the time. They get roasted by comedians, scrutinized by the media, and attacked by their opponents. But when someone from their own inner circle says something that contradicts their narrative, that's when things get serious. Because it's no longer just about political attacks, it's about trust. And when the person closest to you doesn't seem to be on the same page, people start wondering what else you might be hiding. The backlash was immediate. Social media erupted with reactions, with some calling this the beginning of the end for Starmer's credibility. Others defended him, insisting that his wife's words were being taken out of context. But at this point, the damage was done. The story had taken on a life of its own, and no amount of PR spin could put the genie back in the bottle. And let's not forget the power of comedy in shaping public opinion. Jim Davidson's roast wasn't just about making people laugh. It was about highlighting the absurdity of the situation in a way that resonated with the public. Because sometimes, when a politician's words don't add up, humor can expose the truth in a way that serious news coverage simply can't. But here's the real problem for Starmer. This isn't just about one bad news cycle or an embarrassing moment in the headlines. It's about the long-term impact on how the public perceives him. People remember scandals like this. They remember when a politician gets caught in a contradiction, especially when the denial is so strong. It plants a seed of doubt, and once that doubt takes root, it's almost impossible to shake. And the timing couldn't be worse. With an election on the horizon, Starmer needs the public's trust now more than ever. But trust is a fragile thing. Once it's broken, it doesn't matter how many speeches you give, how many apologies you issue, or how many distractions you try to create. People won't forget. This situation has also exposed something deeper about politics. In today's world, where every word is recorded, every action is scrutinized, and social media amplifies everything, politicians have almost no room for error. The days when they could quietly brush off controversies and move on are long gone. Now, every misstep becomes a headline, every contradiction becomes a meme, and every denial is met with instant fact-checking. And in this case, the facts aren't lining up in Starmer's favor. So what happens next? That's the big question. Will Starmer come forward with a more detailed explanation? Will his wife issue a statement clarifying her remarks? Or will Labour's PR team work behind the scenes to shift the focus onto something else, hoping that the public's attention span runs out before the damage becomes permanent? One thing is certain, Jim Davidson isn't letting this go. And now, with Starmer's wife's unexpected revelation shaking things up even further, the Labour leader is in a position no politician wants to be in. On the defensive, struggling to regain control of a narrative that's already slipping away. In politics, perception is everything. And right now, the perception is that Keir Starmer has some explaining to do. Whether he can turn this around remains to be seen, but one thing's for sure. This story isn't going away anytime soon.